Hey, it's James. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I have to admit, after doing my paper, just all the research and all the, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just it was a 12-page paper, and I had to have at least 20 different sources. So I did a lot of reading, and I thought, well, maybe I should share with the channel what I learned. So that's what I'm going to do. The interesting thing about all this, my hair's a complete mess. I had a baseball cap on. Um, you know, I've said it here before. I'll say it again. I tend to lean reformed. Um, it's a little frustrating because uh, certain people, um, example, Dr. James R. White. I follow him, I listen to his shows, read his books, and then I ask for a little help just for a simple retweet. Nothing. This channel has not grown as fast as I wanted it to, and I am frustrated. But you know what? I'm going to take a negative and turn it into a positive and keep moving. So, what I learned about my paper. Yeah, number one, according to the sources I read, John Calvin and Martin Luther never actually met in person. They lived around the same time. Luther was older than Calvin. I believe Calvin was still a teenager when Luther put up the 95 Theses at the church in Wittenberg on Reformation Day, which is coming up, October 31st. I'm not some kind of like legalist or anything when I say I don't celebrate Halloween. It's just Reformation Day to me is much more important. But Calvin and Luther never met. They had a couple common friends, one of them which was Philip Melanchthon. Now it's important because what I didn't know was that Luther spoke German, but he never spoke French. Calvin, his main language was French. Yes, he moved to Geneva, but he was born and raised in France, and then later moved to Geneva, Switzerland. But they didn't speak each other's language, and they never met. And I wonder if it would have helped the cause, if it would have helped the Reformation if they had met and planned things out, and said, "All right, we're trying to change things within the church. What is our end goal? And if the Catholic Church refuses to change, what do we do about it?" To me, it just would have helped. The other thing that I learned is really, really important, and I hope to God that in the next couple of years I get to write my doctoral thesis on it. And that is, it's not really one Reformation, it was many Reformations. You had what was happening in France, and then in not only in Switzerland, because you had Zwingli was up in Zurich, and then Calvin was down in Geneva. You had the English Reformation. You had so there were lots of different groups, and then of course the Anabaptists felt that Luther and Calvin and Zwingli didn't go far enough, and there were some that said, "No, we need to baptize adults only. You need to baptize believers," and that was kind of where you could see that Luther and Calvin weren't trying to start something new. They were trying to reform from within. And the most important evidence of that is the fact that they appealed to Augustine and other early church fathers to try to say, hey, here's where we are, here's where we should be, let's get back to the basics. Unfortunately, the Catholic Church was like, nope, we've got 1,000 years plus of papal authority and tradition, and no. Now, this is just my theory. I could be wrong, but it seemed like what was really happening in the 1500s and then 1600s was that the Protestants turned to Augustine, his theology of man in how human beings are sinful, as opposed to the Catholic Church, which appealed to Thomas Aquinas. And that's, I think, he, the people that wrote or and made decisions at the Council of Trent appealed to Aquinas rather than Augustine. But I've got a lot more to learn. A lot more to learn. And somehow, some way, not just with the podcast, and I think I'm going to wait another week before we start that. Or I might just do it on Sunday. Let's do that. Let's do that on Sunday, because I'm going to be out of town this weekend. Somehow, what I want to do with this channel is to incorporate what I've learned by reading all this church history stuff into this channel. I think if we're ignorant of the past, we're going to keep making the same mistakes. And that's what I don't want to see happen. I want to see, well, I'll give you an example. The Arians of the 4th century were not Trinitarians. And today we have the Jehovah's Witnesses. They're just repeating the same mistakes all over again. I forgot the group. That there was a jazz singer and this other band, and they did this song called History Repeating. And that's exactly what it was. So anyway, I haven't forgot about you guys. I definitely do need to do a regular video on Thursday. But I'm a little frustrated. I mean, I've been doing this now for 2 years, and not even at 100 subscribers yet. So please keep me in your prayers. It's just been very frustrating. I'm wearing orange. I'll be honest. I have a sports channel as well, so I'm doing 2 YouTube channels and trying to get my PhD at the same time. I don't have enough on my plate, do I? Well, the sports channel is almost to 200 subscribers already, and I've only been doing that for like 3 months. So it's frustrating, but I'm going to try to keep putting good, solid biblical content on the internet. And I just felt like I needed to be open and honest and real about how I felt. And I hope that maybe in the future, more and more people will subscribe, and I can be a blessing to other people. And that's the bottom line. All I want to do is use my gifts, talents, and abilities to be a blessing to other people. There's a certain person that was in my life, and she's no longer in my life. And she even told me, she said, you know, you're gifting, you're a teacher. You should be teaching. Well, here I am. And it's hard to grow the channel and get an audience because sadly, biblical content is not something that people are looking for. So let's just pray for them. God will soften their hearts, and that more and more people will come aboard, and we'll go from there. I did get a. I just felt my Kindle was too small, so I ended up getting a cheap iPad, and I will tell you that this has been such a blessing because there's so many good books available, and so anyway, I do thank you for watching. If you are new, please hit like and subscribe. And like I said, please keep me in your prayers. I'm a little just disappointed right now in how things are going. But God willing, things are going to improve, and we'll get some more subscribers, and we'll go from there. So until Thursday, you have a great night.